Hi friends, so as you could tell by the title of this video, we are here to do a 24-hour readathon. I have a bunch of little library books that I want to get through, and what better way to do it than in 24 hours. I am currently reading Aryusha and the End of Time, and I am 171 pages in. I'm probably gonna save this till the end if I read all these other books in time. If not, I'll finish it next week. The books that I'm trying to get through, the first one that I'm thinking about is On Earth We Are Briefly Gorgeous. And this is 240 pages with stunning urgency and grace. They write of people caught between desperate worlds and asks how to heal and rescue one another without forsaking who we are. The question of how to survive and how to make of it a kind of joy fuels this shattering portrait of a family, a first love, and the redemptive power of storytelling. Then I would like to read I'm Still Here, A Black Dignity in a World Made for Whiteness, which is 182 pages. And then lastly, I would like to get through Such a Fun Age by Kylie Reed. This is a little under 300 pages. This is about a woman who is a nanny for a rich white family, and when she takes the baby of the family to the grocery store, she gets stopped by security because they think she has stolen the baby. This is really about performative activism, and I have heard nothing but great things about this, so I am ready to read it. And then the last two things that I have that I am trying to read are They Called Us Enemy. This is a graphic novel basically about internment camps. And then volume 1 of Saga. Again, I have heard nothing but great things about this, but it says, in this sweeping tale of one young family fighting to find their place in the universe, when two soldiers from opposite sides of a never-ending galactic war fall in love, they risk everything to bring a fragile new life into a dangerous old world. Fantasy and science fiction are wed like never before in the first volume of this sexy, submersive, ongoing epic. I'm also listening to the audiobook of Someone to Watch Over Me by Lisa Kleypas. I have a lot of housework to do today, and so I have a lot of stuff that I need to do around the house that I'm gonna have to listen to audiobooks for, and then I also am gonna have to let the ferrets out to play a little bit later. So lots of stuff to do around the house, lots of audiobook listening time. I only have about an hour or two left of that one. It's an amnesia with a woman who, known as the most beautiful woman in London. It's during the Regency period. She is a sex worker. She gets found in the river by Grant, who is a Broke Street runner, and he is nursing her back to health, and she has no memory of who she is, who he is, any of that kind of stuff. And I'm obsessed with it. I'm loving it so much, and I cannot see myself giving it less than 4 stars unless the ending just goes in a completely different way than I want. But I'm definitely excited to get into that. That is the TBR for the day. We are going to get comfy. I'm probably going to do all of the house stuff a little bit later on when I'm getting kind of sleepy, but we're going to get comfy, and I think I am going to jump into this first. So let us get to it. So it is 2:30, and I just finished On Earth We Are Briefly Gorgeous, and I am not going to rate this. This is kind of a meandering story about this guy's life, being an immigrant from Vietnam, being the only English speaker in his family, living with his mother and his grandmother, both from Vietnam, not having a father, being different in a place where being different often misunderstood and bullied. Kind of like Transcendent Kingdom, it's very lacking emotion, kind of just meandering, just recounting different stories, and it's accumulation of one overall lesson. I'm not rating this because I feel like it's too emotional and too important to the author for me to really qualify it. It's not a bad story, and I think that it's a beautifully written, but it was too meandering for me. I like a clear direction of where my stories are going, but I would still recommend reading this. It's gorgeously written. It just wasn't my preferred type of narrative style. So I am going to read Saga now. This is pretty short, so it shouldn't really take me that long, and then I'm gonna start up on something else, but let's dive into this. I just finished volume 1 and it was so good. Like, I really understand why people like this comic series, and I am excited to get the next one and read it. Now I am going to move on to I'm Still Here, Black Dignity in a World Made for Whiteness, and we will talk when I have some updates. Hi, so it is like 6 o'clock and I just finished I'm Still Here, and I am not going to rate this. I do not rate nonfiction in general. Discussions on racism, whiteness in many different spaces, the professional world, in churches, everything. And there's really a section for every topic, and it's broken up and used and dissected by talking about her personal experiences being a Black woman in America, her experiences in college, basically all through her life. And it starts, parents tell her that they gave her a white man's name to make her even and not put her at a disadvantage right off the bat. This is good. I would, as I say, always recommend reading Own Voices reviews for how this actually is like representative and things like that, but I still think you should read it. This deals a lot with how people just want to view racism as like people that, you know, yell the N-word and burn people and lynch people and stuff like that, but it's a lot bigger than that. I will say this has a heavy skew toward like church, predominantly like white churches and things like that. So if you are not a particularly religious person, portions of this might not be as gripping for you. There are some things that I need to do around the house, and I need to let the ferrets out. So I'm gonna pop my audiobook in and try to finish that, and then we will come back after I am done with that. I also forgot that I checked out the manga Komi Can't Communicate Volume 1 because I want to give it a shot, so I'll probably read that today. But the last two things that I have for today are Such a Fun Age and They Called Us Enemy. So I will be knocking these out a little bit later. We will talk again in a minute when I have done my cleaning and stuff, and hopefully I have finished Someone to Watch Over Me. Okay, bye. Hi friends, it is like 8 o'clock and I have finished two things since we last talked. Komi Can't Communicate, Volume 1. I didn't rate it. I don't know if I'll continue. It's basically about this girl who has like a communicative disorder where she can't talk to people, and then this guy who's like wants to be her friend that's helping her friends and like learn how to talk to people. And then I finished Someone to Watch Over Me, which I gave 4 out of 5 stars. I absolutely loved it. I knocked off a star because the ending, the way that Grant like reacted to certain things really irritated me, but I loved it so much. Probably the best historical romance I've read. So I think I'm going to jump into Such a Fun Age. I'm not gonna like not sleep. We're gonna do the best we can and probably make myself a cup of coffee soon, and we'll get into this. Only 56 pages into Such a Fun Age, and I'm just popping in to say that Alex, the mother of the child, is completely insufferable. Hi, it's 2 a.m. and I just finished Such a Fun Age, and I'm gonna give it 4 out of 5 stars. This will make you like angry. Angry at literally all of the shitty people in this story, but it's super relevant to fake allyship and formative activism that we see a lot. And yeah, it was good, and everyone just made me so angry. But it was good. Yeah, 4 stars. So I think I'm going to save this and this for tomorrow, so we will jump back in a couple of hours whenever I wake up. So, night. It is 11 a.m. on Sunday, so it is time to wrap up this 24-hour readathon. This morning, I ended up finishing They Called Us Enemy, and this was incredibly powerful. It's his experience as a child during World War II in the internment camps. Again, I didn't rate this because it's like a memoir graphic novel, but extremely powerful, and I would recommend. It's short. The illustrations are pretty simple. This is a time in history that Americans don't really like to acknowledge. They want to act like Americans are so above it and that we don't do things like this, but the fact of the matter is that we have, and we need to talk about it because we're erasing all of this damage that we did to these people. So very, very good, would highly recommend. Over the last 24 hours, I read these books, read Komi Cannot Communicate, and finished the audiobook for Someone to Watch Over Me. And this morning I got 217 pages into this, so I did a very, very good job. My 2 favorites are definitely going to be Such a Fun Age. This felt like a thriller, to be honest. We were watching someone get stalked and obsessed, like be obsessed with someone, and the obsession levels in this are crazy, and just the levels of like horridness and manipulation and all of that in this is just, ugh. It was crazy good though. The other thing is, like, you don't know who is the bad person. Like, you know who the bad person is. They're all pretty shitty, but there's like varying levels of bad. So, and then my other favorite is probably gonna be Saga. I'm interested by the story, and I cannot wait to get volume 2. So those are all of the things that I read for this 24-hour readathon. Thanks so much for watching. If you've made it to the end, leave a comment down below on your thoughts of any of the books that I read, or any of the books that you've read this weekend. I would love to know. Other than that, I will catch you guys in my next video. Thanks so much for watching.